think communication and how they're going to achieve certain things on the map. They cannot be relying on numbers everywhere they go.
That's also fair, but let's jump into this draft no matter what, right? And if it's missing, it's like, oh, that's kind of funny. High loss as the opener, once again, for the side of the Mongols. Let's see how RQ is going to handle this. Are they, I think it would be really funny, expecting to see the Mongols play double tanks, they just go straight for the carry.
Carry could be possible. Has a bit more difficulty nowadays, but Malefic Gun can definitely benefit her as well because she's one of those marksmen that actually does have a pretty short range.
The shortest.
Actually the shortest?
Yeah, the shortest.
Oh, okay.
How many marksmen who has a shorter base range than Carry? She's like really, really short.
You have a fair point.
Yeah, but funny enough, Bubble and Cobalt also longer than Carries. Oh, hey, fun fact, Luis has played 19 unique heroes throughout the M Series campaigns. He ranked 3rd among all players in M Series history. No, wait, are you sure about this, bro?
Really?
Really? I'm here. I would like a list of them. Just to know. Just
19 is 3rd? I would have thought that people would have played more heroes than that in general.
Especially in M Series of all things.
Interesting. Well, RQ have gone for a completely different direction. They started game 1 with the high-lows pick. But since Khalid is still in the pool, it's kind of risky to show it at this point. Yeah, they'll go for Phobius Vexana, keep things open for the jungle.
Okay. Keeping things open for the jungle, I like the lock-in of that Phobius. Doesn't really matter what else RRQ throws out at them. He has a pretty decent matchup, unless it's the glue specifically. Other than that, I'm expecting that the Mongols are probably going to double down on their bans based on what we've seen so far. And I don't know, maybe we'll see a different second phase coming in from RRQ Akira.
I think at this point, RQ could probably go for their jungler unless they want to prioritize a particular marksman, because after that, they can start banning out junglers from the Mongols instead.
Or they just lock and glue, right? They lock and glue and then just be like mirror each other.
But there's a Vexana.
Oh, you're right. There's already.
That's why they pick Phobius and Vexana together.
That's fair. That's a good point. Good catch there. Lock it in alpha straight away. All right. So at least they have true damage to deal with some of the thicker boys from the side of the Mongols. Let's see how they're going to adapt in the second phase. Slight changes here and there.
I think they'll probably ban the CEO themselves in the second phase, but going for the gold lane instead, making sure that Renix K doesn't have a hero that can escape from this show.
I mean, that just means that they get marksman who can utilize and purify. The Bruno is okay, I guess, in these types of scenarios, but let's see what the Mongols need to focus on in terms of bans. They can also just double down on gold lane bans as well, but keep in mind that RQ Akira will have first pick in the second phase because they are on red side.
I think they could probably look to ban the Khalid, right? Especially if they want to go an assassin at this point. Getting rid of things that can bully them in the early game would help quite a lot. The Luo Yi as well is still open, though the Aurora is already there, so it's unlikely he'll make an appearance.
I think that's... Huh? Okay, getting rid of the CC here, I think that's okay, I guess. I suppose that the Phobius probably doesn't want to deal with it anyway, so just to ensure that there's a guaranteed matchup for the Phobius is totally fine here. But RQ Akira, if they're getting rid of the Wanwan and they're nervous about the gold laners getting away, should they be getting rid of counter engagers?
Because there's already a good amount of counter engage on the Mongol side. I feel like that can of worms is already open. I don't feel like they'll need to continue banning high mobility marksmen. I feel like they can probably pick up Claude on their own.
Time to drop the beat of the flash.
Oh, okay.
Joy, yes.
Yeah, that's true. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen that much Joy yet today.
Well, I feel like Joy is in a pretty interesting spot, right? Really, I don't want to say that it quote-unquote struggles in the early game because that's just, it really depends on how much of a snowball you give your opponent, so it's tough to judge sometimes. But let's look at the Mongols, right? Now that they don't have the access to Joy, I guess they want Mongols to actually play a traditional style of assassins, whether it be the Ling, whether it be the Hayabusa, kind of doesn't really matter here. They've got Cho on their side, whoever gets kicked needs to die.
And they didn't actually end up banning Studio either, so I guess they're comfortable with that. They'll probably go for at least one more form of crowd control after this, just to confirm that they can catch him if the Mongols do end up going for Studio anyway.
Let's see whether or not they're going to double down on it, though. I mean, it's not like it's a terrible matchup. I do think that Cho as a roamer is going to be completely fine here, unless they want to go for something like X-Borg to deal with like the tanks in the EXP.
Going for X-Borg is possible, but nowadays much preferred in the jungle position, so unless RQ Akira is planning to flex Alpha into the EXP lane, which actually is surprisingly also possible, I don't think that's going to be the case here. They go for the Bruno, steal it away, make sure that the Mongols don't have a winning gold lane matchup here. So far, the RQ Akira lineup does look pretty solid. I think their scaling is good. Their team fighting, especially around the early to mid game, gonna be hard to deal with unless Mongols can pick up a little bit more damage.
Do they want to go for something a little wild, a little wacky? They could go for the cloth themselves once again. I think if they're thinking about scaling, do they have enough damage? They've already got a decent spread. Oh, interesting. They're gonna go Melissa instead, huh? What do you think about this enough? Because personally for me, as much as I like Melissa as a character, the go away for me has very few use cases. There's a lot of ways to go around it. Like, for example, just a Shunfo alone gets right through it to get you a kick out.
Yeah, it's good at kind of messing with Cho and Alpha a little bit, but a good, especially an experienced player, will be able to play around that Melissa ult anyway, and she's just gonna be pelted from afar by the Bruno too. So I'm personally not the biggest fan of it here, but at least it gives Renix K an additional way of maybe protecting himself at the right timing.
I guess so. I don't know. I'm not fully committed on this, but it looks like they've kind of diverted their plans. Instead of Cho going into the support as a roamer, it's going to be Matilda, and Cho is going to get thrown into the EXP. Because these guys are going to have to push the momentum, if not stop their opponents from overwhelming them.
Well, so far the veterans of the wildcards today have been taking victories, and RQ are on track to replicate that trend, but the Mongols are gonna make sure that it does not come easily. And in game number 2, we return to the Land of Dawn to bear witness to the conflict between two teams as they vie for victory at the wildcards Day 1.
All right, let's jump right into this. Jungler is going to be starting on the same side of the map. I can only assume that they're heading towards gold, and yes, they are. As they path downwards, we look at the top side, and immediately we're just... Wait, hold on. Wait, the support, Matilda, not helping out the mid lane, push it out early on just to get position for Little Wanderer.
Slight variation in the rotation here, but does still work out because he's able to pull King in. They take a good amount of damage from Mikey. Zetsu holding on to the snipe, but RQ Akira also expecting it will be able to take that Litho away.
All right, and now they're going to head straight down to the bottom side of the map. As expected, no invades going to be happening this early on, and they can, just take their time. Everybody else seems to be going. Bankai actually going for the tough boots pretty early on rather than just straight away rushing towards the Thunderbelt.
Bankai already the first one to unlock himself from the lane there. Good wave management to make sure that he's able to go into the river before Tekashi. But Tekashi now looking for the knockup. Finds it on Zetsu. Bankai gonna be left out in the lurch. Uses Purify in advance to get away. Zetsu jumps back in, gets frozen, has to escape himself. Shenlin and Mikey a little bit late to the party, able to do some good poke, but no casualties so far.
Yeah, good spacing from both of these teams, making sure that they don't fall and give that first blood away this early on. They gotta keep up with this dance. I think that RRQ Akira, as soon as they hit level 4, need to make momentum start to generate. Like Tekashi, once we see level 4, we're expecting a guaranteed kick.
Absolutely. And because of that, it's going to be, again, important for Bankai to make sure that he doesn't get that too easily, though. It does look like the Cho is outmaneuvering him in lane right now. So the timing for RQ Akira should be pretty good.
I don't know. I think they missed their timing because King didn't go straight to his orange buff. But let's look down bot side because, again, it's going well for Gusta Lagusta.
I mean, it's very expected, right? It's a Bruno versus Melissa. He is absolutely going to bully her in lane. RQ Akira gonna give up a little bit on their positioning in the turtle, but they are once again playing a slightly more formless draft anyway. So the Mongols having control is expected. A flicker kick onto the Aurora, right into Glorious pathway, and Sagan gets the first blood, but Zetsu steals the turtle away. And now RQ Akira will just have to back off without their objective.
Man, that's a little sad for King here. Zetsu was able to close the distance pretty fast and get a Soul 7 for the extra bit of damage. Yes, it's been capped from 1,000 down to 500, but it doesn't mean that isn't a lot of extra bonus damage. Now, I do expect RRQ Akira to keep up this momentum. I like the fact that they were looking specifically for Mikey here, but they can do even more.
Yeah, they can continue these fights. Once we're able to get a bit more damage in, and if Gusta is able to get comfortable enough in his gold lane to actually join fights himself, RQ Akira has a lot of burst damage to work with. As long as they keep track of where Zetsu is in the fight, they will usually hold the advantage.
Well, for now, 70 seconds until the next turtle actually pops up here. Very, very passive for both the laners. We are seeing early rotations coming from Tekashi, which is rather interesting. I would have expected him to, kind of clear up the next wave, maybe even proxy the following wave. But it looks like they've got a good timing in terms of where the rotational path looks like. I'm not sure where they found the information from, but at the very least, they know that Suyo is hovering around here.
It's surprising that he wouldn't go for that invade, though it may have actually been the bad idea if he did go for it, because a lot of the Mongols were gathered around that point. I think RQ Akira at this point do recognize that their opponents will have a tendency to rotate very closely together. So if you see one player, you will likely know that there's 2 or 3 of them around, and that is good information to work with.
This is where it's going to get a little tough for Tekashi, right? Every single one of these trades, he doesn't want to have to commit the Way of the Dragon onto Bankai, but as long as Bankai is just marking him, he's going to get free damage in. 12 seconds until the next turtle actually spawns. At the very least, I would have imagined that, focus down on that mid lane, get everybody rotating, and this might just be a gank on that bottom side.
Yeah, the Mongols gonna engage onto Tekashi here, instantly dropping him to 30%. He's not going to be able to very safely engage, but will stick around. King gets stunned, gets knocked up. The kick going to miss, actually. Glorious Pathway going to be slowing down RQ Akira, and Bankai continuing to zone them out. Turtle, unfortunately, has been reset, but it doesn't look like RQ Akira is interested in contesting it anymore.
Yeah, Takashi is missing away to the dragon. They are also missing Sagan's ult as well. No flicker coming in from Takashi, so he can't really set up this play for the rest of the team. And I don't think they expect Luis to give up his life just for a turtle. So they're going to back up here. They're going to have a lot of pressure, actually, on that top side to get some free resets and then set it back to even tempo.
RQ Akira are quite okay with this. I think their scaling is pretty good, just purely from having this Bruno around. While the Mongols are going to slowly fall off once you get later in. Way of the Dragon, though, going to find Zetsu right into the Alpha Charge. And that is going to be a free kill for King.
Nicely done to find this initial catch. And now that they have this 2-2 going on with the mid lane, honestly, they've kind of given up on fighting for this pressure, especially up against the high loss, right? Any damage that they commit onto it from Matilda is basically wasted, right? That's why they're calling Takashi in time and time again to actually force control on this side of the map.
Yeah, ideally they're able to mess with the positioning of their opponents a little bit more here. They will scout out Shenlin, pass that information over to Gusta. There's not going to be an attempt so far, as right now RQ Akira is just going to be aiming to gain a little bit more map control. And if they can, unlock Gusta from the lane so that he's available to maybe start pushing structures elsewhere.
Now, they want to keep on getting this poke damage in, but the motions don't seem right yet. I don't think the Mongols have hit a comfortable portion of the game just yet. Like, as much as I want Zetsu to jump into the middle of these fights, both Bankai and as well as RinXK haven't got their completed items. I don't think there's enough stacks for Bankai to actually jump into these fights for free, and at the same time, the Trinity build is not done yet for RinXK.
It is worrying as well, because we can see RQ Akira being the much more proactive team. They're not really oh, never mind, the Way of the Dragon. Beautiful flicker kick here, but the Glorious Pathway comes out once again from Shenlin to keep him safe. Zone out, nice Jikundo knockup, finishes off the Phobius, and now the rest of RQ Akira are jumping in. Spear of Alpha unfortunately misses, and Gusta not able to get that last hit onto Shenlin. But with the turtle coming up, this is excellent timing for RQ.
Man, that's so unlucky. The empowered auto didn't come through. He didn't get lucky on a crit either, so he just gets to walk away for free. But they do get the initial turtle, like you mentioned, and they've already broken top tier 1 because of all the pressure that they've applied. If they give a kill on over, oh, whoa!
Ooh. That was an attempt there, but Way of Dragon used. RinXK pops the Purify, has to get out of here. Glorious Pathway makes sure RQ Akira cannot collapse on him. Shenlin, though, they're gonna flicker forward, gets the freeze. The rest of Mongols come in. Gusta gets the final hit. Hylos is down. Phobius jumps in, wants to take out Sagan. He still has his passive, so he will be able to revive. And Bankai not able to continue as Takashi now jumps onto RinXK in the backline. Bankai gonna be traded away. Takashi not letting him go, even finishes him off. And it's going to be a 3-for-0 trade in favor of RQ Akira.
I don't know about that one. That was a very odd sequence of events. I mean, I think that RinXK ate how many third hits of Jikundos? Like 3 rotations of Jikundos all within the same minute?
And that's the problem with Melissa, right? It's like, RinXK didn't have ultimate there, but even if he did, I feel like Takashi would have still been able to chase him down. It's a bit questionable whether this was the gold laner to go for.
More so, there was no way he was going to catch up anyway, so he should have just sat in his lane rather than leave the wave, barely get an assist, and then lose out his entire bot side at the same time. Oh,
Takashi, Way of the Dragon onto Hylos once again, right into the freeze, right into the Frigid Glacier. King going to miss his Spear of Alpha on Mikey, but the Circling Eagle comes in, 2-man knockup. Louis is actually very deep in. He's going to get picked off here by Zetsu. Takashi cannot save him, so an overextension by Akira.
Yep, that's good punish coming in from the Mongols' side, but the onslaught is not over yet. As much as RinXK is able to somewhat join these fights, he really needs that farm, and Takashi is trying to put him in a box.
Yeah, I'm very worried for the Mongols because they clearly want to fight when they're all together, but consistently pulling your core away from his farm means that they're always going to be behind in gold. And slowly but surely, RQ Akira has built up a 3k net worth lead.
With that lead, though, Mongols looking for a different angle. They're going to completely give up this first lord of the game just to try and catch up in the economy.
I guess that's fine, right? At least Renix K gets a bit of space. He's able to push waves, get some farm, get a free tower up top. Only the first lord of the game, so the Mongols should still be able to deal with it.
Yeah, it should be a pretty easy deal. Here. Can they get all the tier 2s? Can they even like break open mid-tier 1? I don't think so, especially with Renix able to kind of open the map safely with the help of Muddles. Can RRQ force it? I'm looking at Takashi. He's got Flicker. I mean, he could be able to set things up.
Yeah, Luis trying to get the Circling Eagle angle, but Shenlin's just a little bit too far, but they're going to be able to connect with the Lord down here. This tier 2 definitely goes down. Muddles used, not able to continue. RQ, do they want to continue pushing this? No, they're going to shift to the mid-tier 1.
Continue to move, and they also have ways to actually... They've got Takashi in a position where he can look for a flank.
Circling Eagle comes out, not gonna commit here, not the right angle. Takashi as well, gonna be pulled out with the Guiding Winds. This Matilda enabling very aggressive play from RQ because there's always going to be a get out of jail free card.
Unironically, I don't want to make it seem like it's a bad thing, but Mongols are really good at kiting backwards and disengaging from fights completely, right? Like, they find the most optimal angle whereby even if you do commit, it's not going to be a favorable position for you.
Yeah, but this meta is not going to reward you too much for playing defensively for too long, right? We can see that slowly but surely the grip is closing on the Mongolian team right now. And RQ Akira is going to continue piling on the pressure. Now they're looking for Zetsu. Does he get out in time? I think... Oh, no! Way of the Dragon fights him right at the end! And RQ Akira is going to collapse on the Mongols jungler and get a free kill.
He's so mad. He's so mad. He's thinking like, oh man, if I just started channeling my recall just a little bit sooner, I would have been able to get out of that. Oh, there was so much time for him. But now we see that RRQ Akira, this is a very big advantage. A 4v5, they're looking for inhibs.
Fear of Alpha initiates on Shenlin, immediately pulled out with the Guiding Winds. RQ Akira are scaring the Mongols off, doing poke damage, and disengaging all in one fell swoop.
I mean, they got what they needed, right? The economical advantage. Now they have item power spikes to work with, a Winter Crown for King, and a lot of missing towers for the Mongols. All that's left right now is their inhibitor, and they just need a Lord to guarantee one of them.
Personally, the Mongols doesn't seem like a team that's very good at claiming map control when they don't have structures to work with. So, although other teams would be able to like find an opening in a situation like this, I don't really see it happening unless they make a surprise happen.
Well, I personally think that the Mongols need to more proactively trade against their opponent, right? Because so far, they've just been, hey, one person goes down, we back away, we kind of give the objective up. And yes, as much as I'd like to believe that the Mongols have the capabilities to basically wipe RRQ Akira and turn that 6.2k lead back down into their side in one fight as possible, the odds are not looking good as RRQ Akira are approaching late game items, their third, fourth, fifth items even, as we break into the 40k mark.
In game number 1, the Mongols do seem like the stronger team in terms of counter engage, as well as just peeling and kiting in general. However, in this game, because there's a Matilda to deal with, they're not really able to punish over aggressive extensions from RQ either, right? They just instantly get pulled out to safety, and that is causing a problem because a lot of resources are being used by the Mongols very early on in fights that don't actually happen.
Now with the Lord, oh, okay. Taking their time.
It's a 1v1 up top. Zetsu being chased down by King. Look at how much damage he's taken.
I mean,
he is more mobile, but that means it's a 4v4 defense in the mid lane. Lord crashes in, does a lot of damage. Mid tower should fall. Sagan wants to take bot as well, but Shenlin is able to walk out and stop them from doing so. They'll lose mid inhib. Wave the Dragon finds the horse. Revitalized used by Shenlin. Can he survive? No. Frigid Glacier gives the killing spree to Sagan, and RRQ Akira will take a mid inhib as well as one kill. Do they want to continue? Ooh. Their HP is very, very low. Guiding Winds pulls them outside of Muddles just in time to make sure they're not taken out. Another tower falls. RQ still staying within the base of the Mongols since they know there is no high-lows to worry about.
Yeah, but I mean, they have the advantage, but only for 12 more seconds, right? Louise is getting it. Will be able to kind of keep themselves top to. Oh my god!
I can't believe this. Oh, beautiful Spirit of Alpha on 2 members. Forces 2 flickers out. Winter Crown comes out. Bankai gonna be traded. A beautiful Way of the Dragon
right into the Frigid Glacier. Mikey gonna fall. Mega kill for Sagan, but he does get shut down by Zetsu. He's found his own double kill. He is one beat, never mind. Triple kill for Gusta Lagusta. He's got too many items, and that means it is a clean sweep for RRQ Akira.
Oh my goodness, a clean sweep indeed, but this time round, it really seemed that the Mongols were not confident, and only until we see overextensions. This is what of the match. He did not have cold hands throughout the match. Gusta.
Anyway, so 404 is pretty good.
Yeah, 404 is pretty good, and the fact that he wanted to breed out with the Weapon Master, right? That's why he's looking for big damage items like GDS, for an example, rather than going for the Wind Talker, like an Irithel build, for an example. But generally, the way they played it, I feel like a lot of the instigation coming out from Takashi really kind of set the tone and pace for the game. Like the first initial couple of fights, it was all thanks to Takashi able to kind of generate the space and set up for the team, which allowed them to gain tempo in the first place. Oh, this is the 3 times that Rinnex got hit by Jikudo.
Yep, just constant chasing, because Takashi by himself is more than enough, right? I don't want to be the sandbag, I want to run at them. If you're gonna play sandbags, I'm just gonna ignore your sandbags, because I don't like sandbags in the first place. You can really feel that energy in his gameplay, setting up for the rest of the team. I also think that the Mongols playstyle did not help here, because name